has been a thumping win by the Indian cricket team against arch rivals Pakistan. The class, the poise and balance of Rohit Sharma stood out on the night against Pakistan. On the back of his 63-ball 100 against Afghanistan, Rohit Sharma raised another 36-ball half-century. In fact, when he went, India were only 36 runs away. I'll first go over to my colleague Osama Shah, who experienced an incredible encounter at the Narendra Modi Stadium to pick up what is the mood there now.
Before I say anything, this is what the excitement is. When you look at this crowd, you can feel what victory means. India has beaten Pakistan in the clash of the titans, and everyone is here to enjoy this match. Everyone is here to get a sense of this atmosphere, soak in this atmosphere, and everyone here is. You see, everyone has been coming out of the stadium, dancing. Everyone has been singing. Everyone has been chanting India, India, and why not? Because India has gone on to beat Pakistan in the clash of the titans. One of the marquee matches, one of the most important matches in this tournament for both the teams, and this victory will give India the momentum to go ahead and go forward in this tournament. India, with the net run rate, remember, has gone top of the table, and this is what the crowd, this is what it feels
Osama,
like. This is what it looks like.
I'll let you go and catch a breath.
Crowd.
I know you're going to lose your voice at the end of the night. Looking at the crowd, I can imagine what kind of electric atmosphere you are in. Yes, there are lakhs. There is 1.35 lakh people coming out. They were dancing in the aisles. Now they're dancing in the streets. The street party has begun in Ahmedabad. I'm joined in the studio by our expert Jadeja as well. Vijay, you predicted a 7-wicket win, finishing off in 30 overs. I don't know which card you had pulled at that time. You know, Paul the Octopus used to do during Football World Cups. Now we'll get Vijay to do all the predictions for you.
No, I'm not getting into that. It was just for today. But what a comprehensive win by Indian side. And look at the complete display. We talked about bowling. It was so important. We will be talking about Rohit Sharma's inning. There's no doubt about that. And you know the importance of this inning. As the game went on in the Pakistani inning, we realized after 30th over, it was very difficult to get scored runs because the wicket was getting a bit slow. So the best time to score was against the new ball, and that's how he batted. 86 in 63 balls, 6 sixes, 6 boundaries, so 12 balls for his 60 runs. And that was so important, even although we lost Shubman Gill early, but captains played a splendid knock and just carrying on where he left in the last game. That is phenomenal.
Vijay, would you say that Rohit Sharma has just come out with a strategy in this World Cup? Just hit when you see the ball, hit from the word go.
Not strategy. I think it's the trend, and he's setting it. He's saying that this is the way we are going to play, and I think you need a captain because there are a lot of players in this team who can play with that sort of a freedom, with that sort of aggression, and they have that skill set as well. But when they see their captain going like that, it gives them more sort of a freedom as well. And we have seen everything in first 3 games, Rika. If you see the first game, we were 3 down for nothing, winning the game from there. Next game, big score. I mean, the way we have batted on a good batting track here against the opposition where everybody feels that, there is an extra pressure here, winning that battle as well. So one by one, you have ticking all the boxes.
Vijay, when Virat Kohli was the captain of India, we have seen another captain leading from the front with his intensity, saying what I can do, you can do too. Would Rohit Sharma send that message to the team or say, what I am doing it, don't follow me?
I think he's just setting the tone by saying this, that go out there and express yourself in your own way. I mean, especially if you're an opener, and if you do that, it's a completely different sort of a ball game because you setting that tone from word go. For somebody like Virat, you have to bat at number 3 or number 4. You have to wait to set that sort of a tone and try and understand how the game is going. But the way Rohit is batting here, I think it's a big statement. And the other thing that, Rika, we talked about earlier, he missed out on the last World Cup when India won the World Cup at home. He was not selected.
Do you think it's playing on his mind, or that
not
at the
that
back
way.
of his mind you would have that?
No, not that way. But surely one thing will be playing, that this is the best chance. Look at the team. Look what sort of a team we have. Look the preparation. Look how we're getting into the World Cup. Everything is set. I think if he continue to play the way he's playing, he keep calling the shots the way he's calling, I think we are definitely a certainty to get into the final. Or I'll always say, get into the last 4 first. And on that given day, it becomes so important how you play on that given day, because we have seen in the past teams doing really well in the league stage, and when comes the knockout stage, somebody else.
Because India also reached the final 4 of the 2020 World Cup in Australia, and then didn't go on to make the finals. They lost to England. So we have to see how they pull out.
No, but conditions here and the way we are playing at the moment gives you so many hopes. I mean, like, it gives you so much that you're covering everything, and that's the reason why game by game you're building that confidence. And I think by the time you reach 4th, 5th, 6th game, you will be looking into anyone's eye in the dressing room, and they'll be saying, without saying anything, that we are in it.
We have our colleague Pratibha joining us from Bangalore, but before I go to her, I'll have to really ask you, Vijay, 9 games, is it a bit too long a stretch for any team travelling the length and breadth of the country?
It is. I mean, like, but there's a...
You have done it during IPL with the teams, and you can just tell our viewers how difficult it is going to be.
It is. It is very difficult day in, day out. The travelling takes a toll, but nothing like winning it. If you're winning it, you're on that roll. And what's at stake? We're talking about World Cup. Everything, you forget about anything else. Rika, it will be more tiring for teams like Australia when you're not doing really well, and you have to travel, you have to change things, and then it becomes a bit of a problem. But when you're doing well, you cover almost everything else. But I'm not saying that doesn't mean there's no challenges. New hotels, every time everything changes, new practice wickets. There are so many different things. But when you're doing well, what do? You start skipping few practice sessions. You say that, all right, the guys who are in good touch, you have optional practice sessions, try and stay together as much as possible, and that's how you try to negate all those things. But yes, definitely it's a long duration sort of a tournament here, and there'll be few challenges. Right now we are in that purple path sort of a thing, but you still have to play South Africa, you still have to play New Zealand, you still have to play
it's a really
England.
long,
Absolutely.
it's a really long road. Pratibha, let me come to you. Tell us what's happening in Bangalore. How are the fans celebrating in the city of Bangalore?
What is coming in NDTV?
Well, it was indeed a unique experience, because it felt like I walked into a sports cafe of sorts, but it was actually an audiovisual room inside a residential complex, right from lunch to tea and snacks being served, and all of them, the entire community coming together to witness one of the glorious moments, that is the India-Pakistan match, live streaming that was organized. And I have with me all of these residents who have made time to get together to cheer for Team India. So what do you wish to say? Did you really expect this victory?
At the time of toss, I thought Rohit Sharma did a mistake by not playing first. Later, our bowlers did extremely well, and we got Pakistan all out for 191. And again, when Rohit Sharma came to bat, he did extremely well. Only we were seeing 4s and 6s, and India, the great.
And you won't believe it. Each time there were 4s and 6s. All of them were cheering and all of them dancing away to glory. In fact, I did see a few women who were doing Garba here, and she was one of them. So how happy are you?
We are very, very happy, excited.
So much.
Yeah, very excited.
Right. Ma'am, a word from you if you can come forward. What
I'm
about
very
you?
happy. We won the match.
I'm very, very happy.
Right.
Winning the cup.
Sorry. They were here.
Yes, now we are looking forward to go and win the cup.
Right, so we are just a few steps away from that, and that is the kind of excitement that you see. And we also have the bugle being played each time that India steps into that glorious moment of victory.
Well, Vijay, the festivities begin and crackers are going to go off in the night sky in Ahmedabad today.
Almost everywhere. Why only in Ahmedabad? I mean, like,
Across
all
the country.
Yes, all the eyes are there because they have just finished a game there, and that's what this contest brings. I mean, like, it brings the best out of everyone, and look at the mood. It changes.
Absolutely. It's ecstatic.
Absolutely.
I'm also joined by Rakesh Rao, Deputy Editor of Hindu and senior journalist from Pakistan, Basit Subhani. Basit, I'll come to you. We were talking about this encounter yesterday. You've witnessed many India-Pakistan encounters. How difficult is this to accept?
Well, to start with, it's not new. It started with 1992 World Cup, which eventually Pakistan won. But talk about these cups: 1996, 1999, 2003, 2011, 2015, 2019, and now 8-0. It seems more like a football game, these numbers, where one team has definitely, just outclassed the opposition. Congratulations to India. And all I could say is, you learn all your life. And these young Pakistani players have a lot to learn from champions like Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. And Bumrah showed his masterclass today with the ball as well. Completely outclassed.
Yes, Virat. Vijay, you had to say. He was talking about Virat.
Basit, world cricket needs strong Pakistani cricket side. We've seen that, West Indies cricket going down. We can't afford Pakistan cricket going down. What's the way forward for Pakistan cricket here? I mean, like, we don't know much about the bench strength. We don't know the second line. What's coming from Pakistan, and how do you think that Pakistan will address this?
First of all, you need to back your best players. See what has happened to Australia very much on this World Cup. But they have not started, the fans have not started blaming the captain for playing his friends or something like that, because, all these guys playing there are playing for the country. They're representing them. They're the best of the lot. Yes, one or two selections could be here and there. Pakistan didn't need to hit the panic button. They were cruising along well with Rizwan and Babar Azam especially going well. And after Babar got out, just look at how the middle order crumbled, and they just couldn't take on the pressure. All they need to do is to get their basics right. And once they start doing it, I believe it'll just start working out at the moment. Yes, we are all disappointed. Pretty much not everything is, lost right now. Still so many games to play. I believe Pakistan will do a comeback.
Let me go over to Rakesh. Rakesh, just a month ago, we were building up to the India versus Pakistan hockey encounter in the Asian Games. That ended in 10-2. Now, this ends in a 7-wicket win for India. But also, we are talking about the, scoreline 8-0 in the World Cup. More and more of these India-Pakistan encounters that we are building up to, talking about, are, fizzling out, and they are turning out into non-contests.
Rika, if that is happening, we have to look inwards. We have to look at Pakistan as a sporting country, whether it has the priority when it comes to sports. Definitely sports is not a priority there. Leave out cricket, look at the state of other games. Now, if the same Pakistan and India play in table tennis, badminton, tennis, or any other sport, will you even be bothered to know whether this encounter is taking place? The answer is a straightforward no. When it comes to hockey, yes, we are interested. When it comes to kabaddi, yes, we are interested. Because that is a sort of a combat you are likely to see. But as I had, told you in our last thing, when India beat Pakistan 10-2, I had made this point that it is world number 3 playing world number 16. Imagine if India were to be ranked 3rd in the world in cricket and you beat a team which is ranked 16. Would you care? Would you even bother? It is like India beating, say, a country like Kenya or some, Ecuador or whatever. Whichever country. Now, the point is we get excited because we look at India-Pakistan games through the prism of time. That is where I think we are making a mistake. This Pakistan team is still not ready. It is still work in progress. A lot of work needs to be done. And that is the difference, or the gulf between India and Pakistan is widening, be it white ball cricket, be it, say, 20 overs or 50 overs. We don't play at the, at the highest, we don't play each other when it comes to the World Test Championship. Now,
But
that is where I'm trying to say.
Right.
Let's be fair to Pakistan. They, it is like you can't fight a battle with India at this point in time because they have enough problems of their own.
Vijay, talking about rankings, maybe hockey is 3 and 16. Here we are playing the number 1 against the number 2 team, but that really didn't show.
No, the gap is too big. You can say number 1 playing number 2, but when building up, we've been saying all along, man to man on paper, although we say cricket is not played on paper, but if you look at that, there's so much of a difference, the class, and plus the confidence, plus the way you coming into this tournament, there was a huge gap. Rakesh has raised a very valid point. He mentioned about hockey, he mentioned about cricket, squash. If you look at that, Pakistan was world, they were powerhouse at one time.
Absolutely.
Teams were nowhere near. In that also, in that competition also, if you see, India is not only catching up, is going one step ahead. So it's an overall sort of a thing, and I'm like I said earlier, world cricket need a strong Pakistani side. Rakesh has just said it's team work in progress, but sometime what happens is, when you're not doing really well, you don't get much time, not as a team, not as a captain. You really need Pakistan to come strong. You need Pakistan to make a strong comeback and make a statement in this World Cup. They are a very solid side. They are a very good solid side. But do they have that self-belief? Do they have that fight in them? What Pakistani team was known for. That need to be seen.
Rakesh, coming back to you and talking a little bit about this match. Of course, Rohit Sharma is our top performer. He's leading from the front. The X factor for you in this match?
I think the X factor was the dramatic collapse. I don't think anybody saw it. Because see, for me, the huge wicket was that of Imam. 36 runs on the board. I thought he was going to turn things around. He could turn on the heat on India. He was looking good. And that is, I think, his wicket. I think he played the best. Of all the 3 guys there, be it, Rizwan or be it Babar, my vote will go for Imam for the way he handled the first few overs. And thereafter, the collapse, of course, that was dramatic. You can't afford to lose 8 wickets in the space of 36 runs against India. That was too dramatic for words. But then if you look at the way the Indians bowled, give credit to Rohit for juggling his bowlers around. He knew that some of these bowlers were going for 4s. Not a single 6 was hit, luckily. But the boundary balls were one too many if you see the first 11 overs. I think in the first 11 overs, we were hit for quite a few. But the point is that the Indians kept their head. The bowlers kept their head. And that is where, when it reached the 30 over, mark, both Rizwan and Babar could feel that they were being stifled. And that is where the pressure was maximum, and they wilted under it. More than anything else, I think the wicket of Imam was, for me, I repeat, was the wicket that Indians needed. Thereafter, I think Pakistanis, after a point, shot themselves in the foot.
Rakesh, you think, like everybody else is thinking, that, they were looking good for 280 or 300. Maybe at that time where we think that, Babar and Rizwan were taking a time. I think that they may have analyzed that, this is not that kind of wicket. Keep wickets in hand, and last 10 overs, they can go for a runs.
See, looking at the way Rizwan and Babar approach their innings, I'm looking at it, say, whatever that I have observed. They are not the ones to go hammer and tongs just like that. They take their time, and that is exactly what they were trying to do. They invested their time. The number of dot balls they played was almost ridiculous. It wasn't so difficult, but they made it look so difficult. They gave the wrong signal to those who were waiting for their turn in their dressing room. That is what I think. The moment those guys came, they panicked because they thought 2 of their best batsmen were made to face dot balls, number of them, over after over. And I think that was not the kind of signal that a captain or a seasoned guy would send to their teammates. And thereafter, I think once those wickets went, then it was panic, nothing more, nothing less. And then, of course, we know what happened.
Right, we don't have enough time on the show. Thank you very much, Rakesh, Basit and Vijay for joining us. We'll have to tell our viewers that Jasprit Bumrah has been adjudged the man of the match for his 2 for 19 as India won against Pakistan by 7 wickets.